Pad sistema će američke kompanije sa liste Fortune 500 koštati 5,4 milijardi dolara, procjena je osiguravajućih kuća. A ti gubici ne uključuju Microsoft. Nejasno je da li će i kome novac biti vraćen, jer je ovo prvi pad sistema ove vrste.
It also seems like a huge number, and it is. But if you consider it against like the wider backdrop of all the transactions, everything that's taking place day to day, it is a large amount to be sure, but a far greater amount takes place month to month.
I don't think there are any easy solutions to these global outage vulnerabilities that are quick, easy or cheap. So we're going to have to get used to stuff like this happening for quite a while to come.
This has brought the cyber dependency, our vulnerability, our reliance on IT into very clear focus. But the reality is that risk exists every day.
Kada je CrowdStrike sredinom jula pustio novu verziju softvera, preko 8 miliona uređaja prestalo je sa radom.
That sounds obviously very large, but in reality that's less than 1% of all Windows devices worldwide. And the thing is that a lot of it was very visible. So we got these spectacular images of, say, like Times Square screens being out, that blue screen of death, as they call it. Things like hospitals had to pause surgeries, flights were delayed, banking was disrupted, and even some broadcasters went offline. So it's not to say that it wasn't super widespread, because it was, but it was just super visible as well.
Nekadašnji šef Britanskog nacionalnog sigurnosnog centra kaže da je iznenađen da je CrowdStrike izazvao problem. Oni su poznati sigurnosni softver za otkrivanje i reakciju na potencijalne prijetnje.
It monitors all different sensors of an endpoint, which is basically just anything you use to perform tasks or collect information. So like a smartphone, a laptop, even like an ATM, stuff like that. And it tries to monitor these constantly for different types of cyber threats and then contain them and respond to them.
Kada je CrowdStrike pokušao da ažurira te senzore, pustili su verziju koja nije ispravno konfigurisana.
If you have a new iOS update and then you download it and you notice that certain things on your phone aren't working so well anymore. But basically what happened is that it happened on such a grand scale that it was very, very noticeable.
Stručnjaci za sigurnost na internetu kažu da je najvažnije da se iz ovog pada izvuku pouke i naprave planovi za vanredne situacije. I podvlače da je za korisnike prioritet da prate zvanične kanale komunikacije.
Immediately after the CrowdStrike outage, they even released a statement about hackers that were trying to do this thing called social engineer people and take advantage of that chaos. And what that basically is they were just calling people, pretending to be representatives of CrowdStrike, and then asking people for access to their systems, things like that. And even sending phishing links, which is when you send like an email with a malicious link. If you click it, then they get access to your accounts and things like that.
It's really important in incidents like this that the truth is established quickly and that we learn to trust the lines that are coming out. Trust is the bedrock to restoring order. So we have the lines from CrowdStrike that this was an unintended error with significant consequence. And we should trust that line and take the action that they recommend to protect us all.
Kada se prekid već desi, korisnici imaju vrlo malo mogućnosti da sami prevaziđu problem.
One of the things that is really recommended is to do regular backups, which always seems like a bit of a pain because they take time. But for example, in this CrowdStrike outage, a lot of these computers were restored from a backup. It was actually most of the computers that did fail were because they were on automatic updates. So automatically they updated with this faulty update, and then that led to them crashing. If you have a backup that you can quickly restore the last version from, then that can go a long way in helping.
A najbolja zaštita za pojedince je, navodi Carter, stalni oprez, pogotovo u situacijama koje dovode do haosa u digitalnoj sferi.